just to give you guys a little bit of information on this particular car. It's a 2007 911 RSR. It won its class at Le Mans in 2007 and it participated in Le Mans again in 2008. It won other significant long-distance racing throughout its career. And it also features graphics from a famous artist, and it makes it look like it's doing 200 miles an hour when it's sitting still.
Thank you, Andrew. So that's the first addition to the Simeon collection since we've lost our founder. And the board welcomes Draco to the museum, and the Simeon Museum welcomes our guests to entertain a brand new car here on the Simeon Tournament. We're going to be seeing that out at Demo Days and parked on the Mall Road. Thank you everyone for joining us for this. We have new merchandise out. Draco merchandise, posters, t-shirts, available at the gift shop, unveiled now. with Dr. Simeon, and he wanted to be another car guy. He called the cars our cars. That Mercer, that's our Mercer. And he said that all the time. Am I right? Way in here, guys, right? You never heard him say my car or I'm so great. None of that. He certainly had a healthy ego. He knew he was a guy that had considerable achievement behind him, but he wanted to be just considered one of the boys here, and he was. So here we are. We had birthday parties, of course, driving cars on the back lot. And the doc, he was very much an academician, but he loved the cars, he loved the history behind them, but he liked to get in them, hop in them once in a while. And that was a blessing coming here to this site because of the space we have. He worked so much, he did 3 times the surgery load of a typical neurosurgeon, 3 times the load. That's hard to believe, and be successful, not be crippling people. So he had an amazing career, and he didn't have time to play with the cars. Sunday morning, he would be at the old garage building where he could play around a little bit. That was his only time. He was raising a daughter on his own, and that took time. He got off of work, he's paying attention to her. Sunday mornings, that was it. And when he decided he's going to have the museum and opened here, well, we had space that he could drive the cars around finally. Because in the city, he's right in the middle of the city. Getting a car out, squeezing it in between surgery and work time was not easy, and it didn't happen often. So coming here, we would run the cars, and the doc would love to come out. And guess what? It wasn't just driving around, tootling around in a car. It was a whole history lesson. You get him out on the looking at an Alfa like this or that Aston Martin, he couldn't help it. Right into the history. This car is so wonderful. We're so lucky to have this car. Did you know this? And it would go on. And that's one of the things we loved so much about him was his appreciation. He was not just a wealthy guy collecting a vanity collection. He was collecting for passion, true love of what these automobiles are and what they represent, what their history is. So that's the kind of guy you want to be around when you're interested in something like all of us are. We all have passion for this same object on wheels. And that was a great thing about Dr. Simeon, because he would go in so deep. You know, he didn't bring a car here without intense study. And then when the car came here, he had to know everything about that car in particular. And we have dossiers that are stacked full of any record that he could find on any car that's here. And of course, the library is full of information on every other car, especially any other sports car that ever existed. So this guy was just so full of passion and so full of knowledge and anxious to enjoy it and share it, and we all got a big piece of that. So we're the lucky crew. We say that at the museum now, that this museum's going to be here for years and years. A collection like this doesn't fade away, it doesn't blow away. The museum is well funded. Dr. Simeon took care of that. But we're the lucky crew. We're the people that worked with him. We're the gang that knew him. Our guests, our volunteers, our staff. We say among ourselves at staff meetings, we say we're the lucky ones. We worked with the man. There will never be another crew that will be like us that can say this. And the same with our guests, our members and our friends that come to the Simeon Museum. So many, I think most of you have had a little time with Dr. Simeon. You knew the guy, and you may not realize this if you're not like in the real collector world. I mean, the heavy hitters, the serious collector world. You probably still don't know what a big guy he was. Everybody knew him. If we went to a big show, Pebble Beach, right? That's as big as you get in America, Amelia Island. If you went to these shows, you know what? The doc didn't assign me this job. I took it on myself because I knew I needed to. 5 steps and he's got to stop and talk to somebody. And people he knew, that could go on, and people he didn't know. It was endless. So I kind of had to feel that and say, Doc, you're late for your meeting. And keep him moving, because he did have things he had to do. He was usually a judge at these things. He had appointments, but he couldn't take a couple steps. He was so well known and respected, and every other person who came up, when they didn't know him, they'd say the same thing. They're like, Doc, I just want to say, I admire your collection so much and what you do, and it's just incredible, and love it. And that was all the time. And you know what? I never saw that praise go to his head. He just wanted to be a car guy. So that's what I have to say about Dr. Simeon. Will's got some wonderful images running for us. Different people contributed some photos. By the way, Doc's daughter, Christina, was here today with her family. We had her last year, speaking at this time. She's got a young daughter and Father's Day and all this stuff. I told her, don't stress. I'm glad that she could come in and said hi. But we do have a couple board members that came in today as well. Bob Duzak, you still here? Yep. Oh, Bob Duzak's over here. Bob Duzak is the president of our board. Anybody know Bob? Yeah, guess what? Let me tell you something, he's just another car guy too. He's here out of passion. Is Rupert still here? Oh, there's Rupert Banner, who presented for us. Thank you for jumping in there and giving me a break today. Rupert Banner is a board member, a very deep car guy. Obviously, we're all sharing the same kind of passion. I don't know if any board members would like to address our guests. Please feel welcome. No thanks. Rupert speaks in front of people all the time. There we go, we got him. So Rupert Banner on our board of directors. We have a small board and all people that knew Dr. Simeon very well and carrying the museum forward. So Rupert.
That's what you call being fished completely, I think. Well, it's a great honor to be down here. It's great to see a new car join the collection this evening as well. But what I'd like to do is I'd really like to thank you guys for being here, and Kevin as well for putting these things together. It was brilliant that we did this time last year. To repeat it, I think this has to be an annual now, doesn't it? I mean, you've got...
Yeah!
To put you back on the spot now. I know that Fred, the great thing that Fred really enjoyed about the whole of this was the passion that he could share. The route that he would always talk about is that this is actually a hobby, that it's, there are plenty of people who will talk about it as a business or an investment. For Fred, it had always been a hobby, and it had been a hobby all of his life. And the great thing about the hobby was that it brought people together, basically. It brought people together who might not be together or not know each other. I certainly would never have known a world-leading neurosurgeon unless I happened to like cars and to share the same interest as him. And I think we can count ourselves all tonight among that. So we talk about the spirit of competition here. This is really the spirit of Fred, that it lives on and that we continue to promote and to consider the legacy that he offers, which was a true understanding of cars, preserving cars, looking after cars, making sure that people can experience them as well. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Kevin, for everything you've done. Thank you to the team that are making this all happen. And keep enjoying it. Sleep over, come back in the morning. I won't make it tomorrow, but it's good to be here.
Thank you, Rupert. Wonderful to have you. Now, somebody else, it might surprise you to know that someone else is on our board. I don't expect everybody here to know our board members. We have a guy that comes in and does our photography and runs the sound equipment. He's our engineer on practically every demo day. He's like Oz behind the curtain, so he might seem a little mysterious. But Andrew's on our board too. Andrew Taylor, can you come out and just say a word? Rupert's hard to follow. He's got that English charm thing and he's throwing around like it's nothing. But there you go, Andrew Taylor.
Yeah, well, thanks so much. And I think with Rupert, he said about the new car, it's a great honor to bring that out today and for everybody to be part of that. And it's just you guys coming here to this museum that makes it special for all of us, because without you, we wouldn't have anything to present. And I think Fred felt the same way. You know, the more he could show his cars off and tell the stories that they have and the drivers that drove them and things like that, it made it extra special with guests like you. So we really do appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Andrew, that is so to the point, because all Fred cared about was feet on the floor. He wanted people to enjoy what he was so passionate about. That is so on point. Thank you. Bob, can we get a word from our board president? So, yeah, finally I'll give you Bob Duzak. He's the president of the Simeon board. Very serious car guy in his own right. He's a Ferrari man. And, yeah, please have a few words.
Well, thank you.
what a pleasure to be with all of you, enthusiasts, great supporters of the Simeon Foundation and board. We enjoy having every one of you here. I know the board is getting a few compliments, but there is a person that really keeps everything going full bore, and that's Kevin Kelly. And Kevin is really...
Yeah, Kevin!
And without him, we simply couldn't keep everything going the way it does so smoothly, and it's a great tribute to Dr. Fred Simeon, who I've known for over 40 years. And what a pleasure to meet Dr. Simeon, to learn that he had selected Kevin to carry things on, and Kevin has done such a wonderful job. And I should close by saying Dr. Simeon, besides being such an absolutely spectacular individual, was a brilliant genius in so many ways. And all of us look back for 2 years now that we've been without him, and we regret that loss, but we look forward to the future in a way that he would have supported fully. So it's a pleasure to be with all of you. And Kevin, thank you for the wonderful job you've done.
Thank you for the kind words, Bob. Thank you so much. And really, any compliment coming my way is due to our whole team here, to the staff and the volunteers, to the guests, great guest participation, and of course to a collection that is beyond belief. Every demo day, when we put a handful of cars on the floor, not like today, when we put 4 cars, what have you, on the floor, and we look at just that selection of cars to tell a story, and they blow us away every time, every demo day. When we put just a select few cars on the floor, we say, I can't believe this collection of 4 cars is astonishing. And that's what it is time after time. That's what's so remarkable about this place. And I know you understand this and you enjoy this just like I do, just like all of us do. But boy, oh boy, it's just a wonderful thing. And of course, we thank Dr. Simeon for that, and we keep him in our hearts. I think Will, you're going to put some music behind our deal here, and we'll watch our slideshow. Will's like, all right, come on, let's get on. We want to hear some music. But what he's going to put on is Dr. Simeon's favorite song, Rhapsody in Blue, Gershwin. And Dr. Simeon was more than a car guy. He was in the music. He loved jazz. He was in the art. He loved like what you call it, Renaissance art, traditional art, classical art. He liked to talk about Cy Twombly in not such a positive way, so modern art was not his thing, but he loved like great, the classics and masters. He was just into many things. He was like a Renaissance guy, I guess we'd say, a Renaissance man. So Will's going to put a little music up behind our slideshow.
Huh? That is a sweet McLaren.
Yep. And I thought it was just going to sit there all the time.
Woo! It even goes fast. That is fast, so